Real Madrid Elche 2-2, a draw. Took me a while to make this video, to be honest, but here I am. Real Madrid Elche. What do I really have to say about that game? I was expecting us to win. Real Madrid. I was expecting us to win. As you all know, like when you support Real Madrid, you when you go into games, you're expected to win. It's like it's a deep rooted expectation, especially against like no disrespect, but especially against teams like Elche, maybe Valladolid, teams like that. We are not, as a Madrid fan, you're not expecting your team to draw or to lose. But football is very end to end, and you never know what can happen. Anything can happen. And so far, at this point in the season, it seems like the league can be anybody's league now. That La Liga trophy can be anybody's trophy. And when I say anybody, I'm talking about it can either be Real Madrid's trophy or Barcelona's trophy, because Barcelona, they are directly on our heels at the moment. Directly on our heels. Luckily for us, we're still first on the La Liga table with just 1 point, and 1 point is not good enough. Barcelona dismantled a tougher team in Athletic Bilbao, dismantled them 4-0, and us, we are there struggling to draw a game against Elche. And big ups to Elche, big ups to them, because they actually did play well. They really played well. They didn't come to just sit back and soak in pressure. They actually defended well. They attacked well. They played like they had no respect for Real Madrid. And in during the game, um it was slim margins. It was slim margins. A lot of errors, and this is one of the things I was afraid of when Militao, got injured. When Militao got injured, because I don't just I don't trust anybody in that center back aside from Militao. I don't trust anybody in that center back aside from Militao. And I knew that we were going to have we were going to struggle with Militao getting injured. We were going to struggle, and it was all through the game. Really, we were making sloppy mistakes. We were, second to the ball. We were, you know, even the first goal. Let's talk about Elche's first goal. Elche's first goal. It was a horrible mistake from our defense. Horrible mistake. And this is the lack of concentration people complain about when it comes to Trent Alexander Arnold. This is the lack of concentration people always complain about. This is why you would see that people would are quick to say that he's one of the best attacking fullbacks in the world, which I agree. But when it comes to the defensive part, he can be very sloppy. He can be very sloppy and very slow sometimes. That goal, if it was somebody like Carvajal he has the ability to read the game better. And I don't think that would have been a goal if it were Danny Carvajal. I don't think it would have been a goal, because we as Madrid, we are not supposed to be conceding that type of goal. And even for the second goal, it was the second goal that we conceded was very stupid. Very, very stupid. Three defenders backing away from one player. Very, very stupid. But we are here now. We are here. The good thing is that we managed to equalize. We managed to score back, and when we conceded again, we responded. With a goal from Dean Huijsen, and the second goal by Jude Bellingham. The thing is, I don't like being too hard on the teams I support, which is Real Madrid and Arsenal. I don't like being too hard on my teams because these things happen, right? These things happen. The season is long. You are going to have valleys. How do they call it? Valleys and peaks. In the course of a whole season. Do you understand? And these things happen. All we need to do now is just go back and recalibrate. The defense has to be to be stronger. We should have lost that game yesterday. We should have lost that game yesterday. We were very lucky not to lose that game. We were very, very lucky not to lose that game. Elche missed a lot of chances. They missed a lot of chances. If not for me, the best keeper in the world, in my opinion, Courtois. If not for Courtois, we could have left that game 4-2, losing that game 4-2. If not for Thibaut Courtois. Courtois, in my opinion, was our best player yesterday. He was our best player yesterday. He saved us, and going forward, one problem I have with Madrid is that we keep relying on Mbappe alone. We keep relying on Mbappe alone, and I keep thinking if something happens to Mbappe, he gets injured. Maybe he gets injured for the rest of the season. Real Madrid is going to struggle. We are really going to struggle if an Mbappe gets injured for example, the rest of the season, or he gets injured for like 8 games or something. Let's say he gets injured and he can't play for like 8 games, or he can't play for like 2 months or 3 months. We're going to really struggle because aside from Mbappe, I don't see any other threats we have in that strike position because with Real Madrid we always alternate between Rodrigo and Vini, and Vini came in yesterday and was just being stupid as usual, like world class player and everything. But sometimes I just get fed up of that guy, and I couldn't be bothered if that guy leaves. Like the guy, I remember there was one chance that Mbappe made an incredible run, beating like 2 players or so, and gave this guy a through ball. This guy could have just played that ball once. Vini could have just played that ball once. There was no reason for him to control that ball and want to. I don't know what he wanted to do. Wanted to control the ball and wanted to cut back, then finesse the ball. But it was too late by then. And there are just certain decisions he makes in games that just piss me off. And I couldn't be bothered if we sell this guy for big money and just replace this guy. Because this guy, as much as he's an incredible player and has these world class moments, this guy can be a thorn in our flesh sometimes. And I'm just getting fed up, man. I'm just getting fed up of that guy. With Rodrigo, same old, comes in, gives a good shift, but nothing. This guy doesn't really add anything to the team. He doesn't really add anything. I don't know how many goals he scored this season. I don't think this guy has scored up to 4 or 5 goals this season. This guy, he's just another body. He's just another body. I don't think he really brings anything spectacular to the Madrid team. He's a player that has world class moments, but he's never been a world class player. Um, and I think going into the January transfer window, I think we need to add. Madrid needs to add. Madrid really needs to add. I know Hendrik should be going on loan to Lyon. Um, Rodrigo is probably going to stay. Um, but we just need to add, especially in the front when it comes to our attacking. We need to add. What we have going forward isn't good enough. Isn't good enough. We are one player short in Mbappe from being in a very big conundrum. If Mbappe injures, it's going to be long for Madrid. It is going to be long for Madrid. So we really need to beef up the squad in January. We need another striker. We really need another striker, another quality striker. In my opinion, Madrid should be going for a Victor Osimhen. Madrid should be going for a Victor Osimhen. And I know people will be like, so if Madrid goes for Osimhen, where will the Kylian Mbappe play? Mbappe can play right wing, he can play left wing. He can play right wing, he can play left wing, and he can also play that striking position if someone like an Osimhen isn't available. But those are the type of players Madrid should be going for. Madrid should be going for those type of players. I don't mind um Kylian Mbappe dropping to the right wing because he played in Monaco. He played in that right wing when he first got into PSG. He played as a right winger for a very long time before he moved to the left wing. So anywhere in the forward area, Mbappe can play. He can play as a right winger, left winger, striker. So if Madrid gets like a Victor Osimhen, um, Mbappe can play as a right winger, and if Osimhen isn't for some reason isn't playing, it goes back into that strike position. That can work, but we need quality. Madrid needs quality in January. We are one injury away from being in big trouble because Barcelona right now they are on our heels, and Lewandowski is back. I think Rafinha is coming back as well. So and these guys have serious firepower. Serious firepower. We need Madrid. Um we need to beef up our team. I just want to check something. You know, with Hendrick with Hendrick leaving in January, with Hendrick leaving in January, that would that would shorten us going forward. That would shorten us going forward with Hendrick leaving in January. And Gonzalo Garcia was really good during the preseason, but this guy hasn't done anything this season, and these guys barely get playing time. And I think it is very clear that Xabi Alonso doesn't really trust these guys. He doesn't really trust these guys. It's only when Real Madrid are comfortably winning or leading, he now decides to maybe bring in like a Gonzalo Garcia to play like the last 15 minutes or 20 minutes or 5 minutes, things like that. Hendrick has I've only seen him feature once for Real Madrid this season as a substitute. Maybe he has featured more than that, but to my recollection, I've only seen him come in as a substitute just once. I can't even remember the game. But this is we just need to beef up our squad and big ups to Elche. Like I said, they really played a good game. They really played a good game. I was actually thinking we were going to bury them, but um, they played well. They played well, and that's really it for now. We still lead the table with 1 point, but 1 point is nothing. To be fair, 1 point is nothing. Especially when you have you have a Barcelona, you have a Barcelona tailing you. So our next match, Madrid's next match is on Wednesday, Champions League against Olympiacos. That would also be an interesting game. I know, like I said, as a Madrid fan, you're expected to win every game, no excuses. But this is the Champions League. It's going to be a tough game as well. And on the 30th of November, which is Sunday, at 8 o'clock British time, we'll be facing Girona away. So that would be a tough game as well. That is going to be a tough game as well because in this league, it's the little teams that can give you trouble. It's the little teams that can give you trouble. There's no small team. There is no small team. Barcelona are facing they'll be facing Chelsea in the Champions League tomorrow. And uh their next La Liga game will be against Atletico Madrid. So which is a very tough game. Which is a very tough game. So hopefully they lose that game. Hopefully they lose that game. But with the way they dismantled Athletic Bilbao, Barcelona, they are no joke, So hopefully they lose that game against Atletico de Madrid, which is going to be a tough game. Atletico de Madrid is always a tough game um, for most people, obviously, except Arsenal. Arsenal molded them 4-0, but they are usually a tough team to play against. So um, that should be a tough game, and Real Madrid needs to take the opportunity, because it's easier to play Girona than it is to play Atletico Madrid. So Real Madrid should be getting the W against Girona. No, no excuses. No excuses. And that's really it, man. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.